This place is amazing. Back in 2017, it was 47 million euros in IT exports. 2024 has been 347 million in IT exports, like a 700% increase in 7 years' time.
Combined with the fact that Kosovo is also the youngest population in Europe.
What I see is just a boom.
The market here is someone who knows program languages, like Python, and has a good logic around architecture and structure-wise of the programming structure goes.
And there's plenty of those. There's plenty of that talent here.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Kosovo really is like a newborn country. You're excited to see what a 2-year-old grows up into. Me and Zach and Dion as well are obviously really excited to see what Kosovo grows into as well.
Yes.
So.
We believe in the path it's heading on, and it is quite a bright future ahead for this country. People see that we want to be a part of it.
So, Steve, action.
All right, so Decathlon is the business. I've been triathlon, decathlon, so we just went through this off camera, but what gave you guys the idea? What do you do? What's the inception story? Because it's kind of interesting. You're from Australia, you're from Kosovo, you're from Australia, so piece this together and talk about how you guys originated the business.
Yes, so I guess I'll kind of start with what kind of led me here to Kosovo. So it was more, I was traveling around doing my Euro summer, just trying to do as many side quests as possible, get up to as much mischief, because us Australians, we don't get much time to spend over in Europe. So
yeah, Australians are not necessarily known for their mischief, right? That's, no, not
anyone who's told you otherwise is spreading
It's all lies. It's all lies.
Yeah,
it's all the New Zealand people?
Yeah,
Got it.
Exactly. So it was like you get 90 days in Europe, but all my friends were telling me about Albania. You got to come out to Albania. And I was like, oh, it's out of the Schengen, so I get some more days, extra time to spend over in Europe. So I was, I'll come out to Albania. And ended up doing the hike around the peaks of the Balkans. Was the most beautiful, amazing 10-day experience of my life. And then I was like, I should continue my side quests here. And my hiking guide, Donat, he actually helped me move here to Kosovo, because he brought me to his hometown in Paya and then invited me to his sister's engagement party in Pristina.
So you meet a hiking guide here. Yeah. And you're doing the Balkan Trail, and take it from there.
Yeah, so my hiking guide, Donat Hoti, he was an absolute legend. He shared so much about the culture and the history of Kosovo, especially with his family throughout the war. And I felt it's such a unique story. I just wanted to learn more. And because I'd never heard of Kosovo before coming out to Europe. Coming to Albania was the first time I ever heard of this country. And so I was like, why not just live here and just experience what life is like in a post-war country. I didn't really have any expectations. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but from that experience of coming to Donat's hometown, interacting with all the local people, and then coming to his engagement party, I was like, this place is amazing. Like, the energy here is so vibrant, it's young, and everyone's speaking English as well, which is, for the Balkans, I don't know, there's not quite any other city I've been to where it's like English is quite frequently spoken. And so, I decided to move here for 2 months, and I was like, what do I do whilst I'm here? So I just started making content, building my own personal brand centered around Albania and Kosovo, because I just realized it was something I was passionate about, and it actually helped me learn more about the place, and then also connect with more people around Albania and Kosovo. So, whilst creating all this content, there was a few people recognizing, oh yeah, I've seen you online, and it helped me kind of meet people. And then one day I'm walking into a coffee shop, Newborn Brew, we're about to go to, and I wander in, and this guy next to me is like, g'day mate, you from Australia? I see you on TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Did you say g'day mate though? Or?
Yeah, said
that. in the best Kosovo accent.
Yeah. And my friend was seeing his videos, and he mentioned this in a video where, if you meet me, just say good day mate, and I'll start talking with you, because I need those kind of people. And I'll keep it up from there. I was building an idea because of my programming experience that I had for 5 years right now. And I was building something in that cafe, especially because it's a friendly place to work and to hang out with your friends and work on stuff that you think is the best. So I was doing decathlon there, and we had an idea, and I was explaining that to Zach as well. Like the first day that I met him, it was just, how is your experience here, and what's the tag in Australia? So these were the two main questions that I had for Zach. So after this one, we talked with Zach like a lot, and I was meeting him like day-to-day basis, and he was saying that I have a good friend in Australia that is just finished like the University of Computer Science, and that was Ethan. So the first time that I met Ethan was in a Zoom call, in a Zoom meeting.
At my grandma's house.
You weren't here yet?
No.
Okay.
So I was all back in Australia, waking up at 5 a.m. to match the time zones at this stage.
Explain that first phone call I had with you.
Yeah.
What was going through your head when I called you and I was telling you about Dion? I just met Dion. Bro, you are not going to believe this.
Well, as you can probably tell based on Zach's story, he's a pretty spontaneous guy.
Yeah.
I'm not. And so originally I was like, okay, yeah, like Zach's in the Balkans, gone on a hike. I'll see what he's up to.
Because you guys were buddies from home, right?
Yeah, correct.
So like he takes off to the Balkans in Kosovo, and you're like, where are you going?
Where is Kosovo?
I mean, I wasn't surprised though. That's the thing. I was like, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But I was finishing up my degree. I was stuck in a dark room, coding 16 hours a day, looking at Zach's Instagram stories of him in this beautiful mountain region, just chatting to all these incredible people, meeting the president.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like this guy's living. And then he calls me up, and I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, what's this about? And originally he kind of just explained that he'd met a few people, and they were curious about what the sort of software development situation was like in Australia. I'm like, yeah, well, I can comment on that. We hopped on a call. I answered a few questions about things like wages and job opportunities and different IPs that exist in Australia. And then Dion kind of showcased to me something that he was working on as part of what was originally Decathlon. And I was blown away. Mm-hmm. Dion and I are the same age, and throughout university, I met a lot of really talented developers. But the quality, the sort of production readiness of what he was building was pretty, mind blowing to me. It completely changed my perspective on what was possible.
So talk about what that is. Has it pivoted since the original?
Yeah, big time.
So what was it originally that you were building?
Yeah, so as I told you, I started working 5 years ago I was a full stack developer. So I was working on platforms, mobile apps, websites, and these kind of things. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking of all the biggest companies here are that have clients outside of Kosovo. So I said, I might do something here for this community and find someone that is outside of Kosovo and maybe start a business there and have some clients here. So I can expand. And I had an idea of creating a platform for job positions, daily jobs that someone can post and hire them immediately. So I came up with this name, Decathlon, because I was into sports and I really love the triathlon. So I replaced the tri with tech.
Yep.
And after that, I gathered up a team, which was just about belief on that idea, and we created something really beautiful, from the designs to the production and deployment and all that. So I was telling these guys that, I'm building this, so I just want to learn where you worked and what platforms did you use in that industry. So the first time that I met with Ethan, he knew the stuff, but he didn't have the people around him that can help him in that way. Yep. So the first time that we met, it was clear. It was like a light bulb which said, you guys are gonna work for a long time. Yep. And he's gonna come to Kosovo in one way. So I was saying,
I wasn't convinced at this stage though.
Yeah. You weren't.
I'd sort of had this naive preconception that I was going to be able to stay in Australia and keep living the life that I was, whilst also coordinating with Zach and Dion whilst there in Kosovo, and that was, well, actually.
And 2 weeks later, he was here.
It took you a long time to get convinced.
Hey,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Like 2 days. Here's the trip.
I mean, startups, it's all about learning lessons quickly, and so that's
right.
essentially what happened. But yeah, so I was studying computer science. I was never intending to become a software developer. My original game plan was to get into intellectual property law. But through like the network that I'd established doing like internships, through like, my parents, family, friends, etc. I'd gotten a really good ear to the Australian industries, across the board. And because I was studying computer science and I'm generally like quite good at communicating sort of technical concepts, I was having a lot of conversations with businesses about what their software systems looked like. And, especially in Australia where, a lot of small, medium-sized businesses are focused on industries like trades, it was super, super clear to me that Australia was really lagging as far as the sophistication of their internal systems go. And so over the course of my degree, I was kind of doing little bits and bobs, software-wise, for these businesses before I came over here. And so what was so exciting for me about the first conversation I had with Dion was all of a sudden, I was expanding the scope of, a couple of quick automations to, full enterprise-grade software solutions for these specific industries that lacked the solutions.
So in that kind of goes down the path of like what Decathlon is today, right?
Yeah, it is.
So explain that just real briefly. Like what is it that you guys are doing today? What's the market that you're going after? Like kind of the business side of it.
And so to build off of that, to actually get to the elevator pitch now, what we realize is that traditional software is one thing. AI is a completely different ballgame. And so as opposed to targeting trades businesses, which still need that sort of niche application in a limited market environment, instead if we're providing something like AI, custom AI infrastructure, then the target market expands drastically.
Right.
And so what we're doing now is we're building internal AI systems for like holding groups. And so what that comes down to is like, okay, you guys have got, let's say 5 different businesses. They've all got different ICPs. They've all got different business models. What's the overarching strategy which governs how you run those businesses? And then how can we take that overarching strategy, install custom-made AI into your business so that instead of having 5 people all managing one task, instead you've got one person managing that task with the help of the supplementary AI, which captures the, grunt work or the laborious side of that workflow.
Love it. So I mean, it's AI workflows specifically focused on holding companies with really diverse holdings.
Exactly, because we want to target the strategic side as opposed to like the tactical side of things if we were targeting a specific business model.
So where's the customer base? It's probably not here, right?
It's not here.
Primarily US, Australia?
UK actually.
UK.
Funnily enough.
Really? Is that like the sole market or is that just
at this stage, because we're really trying to lock in our offer at this point. We want to extract as much, because none of us have run, highly successful enterprises for many years. And so our knowledge of the strategy, which governs things like HR, recruitment, marketing, etc., it's lackluster. But by focusing really closely on working with these first few clients to understand how they've been so successful across multiple different business industries, we hope to kind of gain, accelerated understanding of what the kind of practical knowledge associated with these business processes are, and then build AI around that practical knowledge so that we can take that to any business, and we can say, hey, this is a proven business strategy which we've been able to facilitate by AI.
So you're building this AI business based here in Kosovo. What's been the AI? I mean, you're come out of the software engineering world. What's the AI sort of talent market here look like?
So actually right now this thing is new all over the world, and these kind of automations, these eternal agents, and also these kind of tools that are expanding like daily, and every day we have news that something came up, and the only thing that keeps up with this technology is someone that is ready to learn about them, implement them into their code base, because all we are doing is we are having these traditional CRM, ERPs, or these kind of things. But the AI, what is knowing is that you don't need a CRM for each company or the brand that you have.
Right.
The AI needs to recognize the brand that you are talking about.
Right.
If you want to fix something, it's there. So
Yep.
the market here is someone who knows program languages like
Yep.
Python and has a good logic around how like architecture and structure wise of the programming structure goes, and that's it. Like that's
Yep.
all we need.
And there's plenty of those. There's plenty of that talent here. Right.
Absolutely. And to add to this point, someone who's been working closely with us, who's kind of we've taken under our wing to do like a bit of an internship with him as part of Decathlon, is a 14-year-old from Kosovo. I actually met him at a cryptocurrency event.
Yeah.
And he came up to me, he'd recognized me from TikTok. And he wanted to get a photo with me. And he was telling me how he's been building AI agents, he's building his own apps for AI education for the youth.
Yeah.
He actually just presented his app to the president of Kosovo over the
Like
weekend.
starting early, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's when I met him, I was like, wow, it is seriously a lot of potential within the youth, especially if they are put on like the right path and the right track and have good role models to look at and be able to see the success or the opportunities that different paths present.
Yep.
They will follow.
Yep.
And especially with the IT industry, people here have caught on.
Yeah.
A lot of people are moving into the IT sector, just particularly because they can see all these people who are doing IT, they're able to earn amounts to support their family, stay here in Kosovo.
Absolutely.
And actually build a career here. But it's like now with AI, there are unlimited amount of opportunities if you have a skill set revolving around AI, custom AI development, AI agents, and it's just people need to be shown what the outcomes of learning these skills is going to be.
So what's been you're building you're building global business, obviously, out of a really small country. I mean that can come with unique challenges as well, right?
Yeah.
What are the biggest sort of challenges that you guys have faced?
The hoops you've got to jump through operating out of Kosovo.
What kind of hoops?
Yeah, so I mean, it can be as trivial as things like, for example, Claude Code, which is a really popular kind of like AI code.
Claude Code.
Code.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. No, that's right. I just want to make sure I heard you right.
That's not available in the region.
Right.
And so, I've got to call someone up in Australia, I've got to give them the card details, I've got to get them to register the account, and then I've got to get access to the account.
Yep.
Things like, for example, meta verification. The business documents that the government provides over here as a Kosovan business don't provide all the details or don't necessarily come in the languages that Meta supports for the verification process.
Yep.
And so navigating those kind of more trivial but nevertheless important processes within the business is definitely made more difficult. And then as well, to add on to that problem, because it is a small country, it's not like in Australia where if I was experiencing this problem, for example, I didn't have a specific document from the ATO and I needed that document to apply for something, I could go online.
Right.
I could go online, I could find a government resource, I could go online and I could find several different accounts of other business owners struggling with the same problem and the steps they took in order to resolve it. Those kind of resources don't exist online in Kosovo.
Yep.
And so, it has required a pretty significant sort of perspective or approach shift in terms of how we navigate them, where instead of relying on online resources, it really comes down to our ability to reach out to other businesses, people at the ICK and say, hey, like, this is the problem that we're facing. We don't really know what we're supposed to do. We don't speak Albanian, so we can't read this document. Have you been able to do this? And if so, how did you go about it? And so I would say, that's definitely been the main thing.
As Ethan was saying, like the evolution was here, but he came like on top where still are some problems in there because like programmers here or all these IT sector, like until this year, even they couldn't work as a freelancer because some of the platforms didn't recognize Kosovo.
Right.
So a lot of like credit cards and these kind of things, there are still some restrictions in there. So it's kind of bad if you are relying into that and you don't have the solution right away, and you need to find the way which it should be easy. It should be one click away.
Yeah, but you guys, it sounds like you're finding workarounds to these things. If you sort of think about building here versus like if you were trying to build this, say, in Australia, right? What's the benefit? The other side of that, like what's the benefit of building here versus, say, going to try to do this?
I wouldn't be there.
Well, yeah, that's right. You wouldn't have him, right? Well, you could go, right? But I mean, if you were to try to build it in Australia or the US or the UK or something like that, what's the benefit of doing it here?
Well, there's a number of different benefits. I suppose in our situation specifically, we're all young.
Right.
And so it's not like we've got, capital going into this to bootstrap what we're trying to accomplish in the context of Australia.
Yep.
To get a decent developer in Australia, you're looking at bare minimum $60,000 a year.
Yep.
And so that by itself is a barrier to entry, which it would take 2 or 3 years of planning and, capital accruing in order to overcome that. So I would much rather...
I mean, you'd have to raise money, the dilution and everything else, right?
Exactly. And so I would much rather deal with something like, not having certain softwares available in the region, but then have that hard barrier to entry, which requires, a 6-month, 1-year timeline in order to overcome.
Yeah.
But the core observation for me, at least, with what we're trying to accomplish and how Kosovo fits within that is a combination of what Dion was explaining as far as the quality of software engineer and their understanding of the more sort of intricate aspects of enterprise-grade software, combined with the fact that Kosovo is also the youngest population in Europe.
Yeah, absolutely.
For what we're trying to accomplish with AI, that is a huge deal.
It's, this is something that's come up in every interview we've done for this documentary so far, right, is... just the competitive advantage that the youth, just that young age of Kosovo really imparts, and that's a unique thing in the world, right? It's just not. I mean, that is something pretty unique to Kosovo. It's if it's not it's certainly the youngest in Europe, and it's among the youngest in the world in terms of population.
I think this is like evolutions. AI is an evolution right now, and evolution starts when someone is ready to learn about that. So if you take developers or a country that their developers or their population age is around 28, 29, they are selling up for a family. They don't need to learn something new. So AI is an evolution. It's something that people need to learn. People need to implement them, those kind of things, and who can do that is someone or the population where it's kind of young and they don't have anything else, just about experiencing or having that like readiness to learn and then to implement or to code these kind of things.
Yep, absolutely. So you guys, so I come back here in 5 years, right? And we're sitting here in ICK, and which is Innovation Center Kosovo, I should probably say that. Where's Decathlon at that point?
Hopefully on the top floor.
Where are you guys going to take this? What's that?
Hopefully on the top floor.
On the top floor?
Penthouse.
That's right. I mean, you're still building from Kosovo, you're still building a global business. Like, what does the business look like, do you think?
Well, this whole year has just been completely unexpected for us. Like, in terms of the path we've taken, there's been so many pivots, so many turns to just get to this point right now. So ultimately, we don't know. But in terms of what it could look like, is the possibilities are endless. And it's very exciting with Kosovo as well. Just looking back in the past of how much the IT sector has grown. Back in 2017, it was 47 million euros in IT exports. And now 2024 has been 347 million in IT exports, like a 700% increase in just 7 years' time. And especially with the advent of AI, that's just going to continue going up and up and up. And especially the young population, it's just, what I see is just a boom with Kosovo's economy and the IT sector. Now, what that means for us at Decathlon is we just want to bring more people here, allow more people to see the opportunity.
For the sake of the interview, I'll speculate a little bit. In 5 years' time, if you're a small or a medium-sized business that needs AI in your business, then I would like for Decathlon to be responsible for creating a narrative around Kosovo where it doesn't matter if your small or medium business is in Australia or the UK or the US or Albania. If you need that AI installed in order to, keep pace with your competitors, then the first place that you'll look to for that talent, for that development, for that system will be Kosovo.
I love that vision.
The soundbite.
That's right. I love that vision. Right. And the other day we're interviewing. We have a guest on the series who actually was the. I kept calling him the first head of USAID ever. I mean, he literally rolled in to Kosovo when the smoke was still up in the air, right? And he said, no, I was the second, but he was like literally rolling in and we talked about this, and I said, and I asked him that question, like, what can Kosovo become, right? And I loved his response, and you went kind of down this path, and he had said, it can be the Singapore of. It could be the next Singapore, right? It can be the next Estonia. It can be there's so many great role models to follow. And I love that because if you look at, the potential that's there, right? Where you see like Singapore has really defined itself as, it's kind of the crypto, fintech, crypto hub of the world now, right? And you see these kind of small independent countries that create this brand and create this this foundation to go own that category. I mean, can Kosovo own that category as being like this small independent country that owns building AI applications?
Absolutely, because it is uniquely positioned to do so.
Yep.
Like the three biggest barriers for these kind of businesses that I'm talking about as far as the installation of AI within their systems is the reliability of the AI.
Yep.
Anyone can kind of produce an AI which is reliable if they spend enough time on it, if they develop the skill sets around like prompt and context engineering. It's the security of the AI. AI that works and provides huge value is also AI which represents a huge cybersecurity vulnerability for any business that uses it.
Yep.
And it's the production readiness. Is the AI going to be running? Is the AI going to be quick? Is it going to be all of these things which come with 5-10 years of software development experience? And so you might have someone like myself, for example, who's in Australia and he's really invested in the reliability side of AI and became very good at the sort of top layer skill sets associated with AI. I had no idea about how I was supposed to deploy something to Amazon Web Servers,
right? Or
how I'm supposed to install proper cybersecurity protocols. But people like Dion from Kosovo, there is hundreds of Dions just waiting to be found in Kosovo who have the existing enterprise-grade software development skill sets, who are also at this point in their career, being 22, 23, 25, they're ready to take a chance on AI. You can't look to a 35-year-old senior developer who's got 2 out of those 3 skill sets to drop his $200,000 a year job in order to reskill in terms of these AI-specific skill sets.
Right.
You can ask a 25-year-old to do that.
Yep.
And so that is why Kosovo's young population combined with their existing software development talent makes them uniquely positioned to provide AI to the world in the future.
I got nothing to add. That's as good of an ending as we could possibly get. Awesome job, guys.
Yeah.
Great job.
Good.
Cooks.
Talk about you. We started talking about this in there. You are from Australia. You get the idea to kind of come to Albania. You've never been to the Balkans before at that point or anything. And talk about how you then end up in Kosovo and living here and then becoming like the leading influencer of Kosovo, right?
Yeah, I could have never imagined it in my wildest dreams. Like to look back at basically back in Australia, I'd never heard of Kosovo. I knew barely anything about Albania, like most of it just being like through movies and what that is. But yeah, it was just my friends telling me about Albania, how cheap it was, how beautiful the beaches were. I was in Barcelona at the time and I was like, oh yeah, like I'll go out to Albania, check it out, see what it's all about. And getting to Albania, what I really kind of stood out to me is like the tourism there and how quickly like tourism's growing in Albania. It's skyrocketing. It's one of the, I think it's like second fastest country growing in tourism numbers. And number one in Europe. So like when and experiencing that, and I wanted to kind of live in Albania for a bit. I don't know, because my original plan was to go out to Thailand and then go back out to Australia, but then being in Albania, I did a hike around the peaks of the Balkans. It was the most incredible 10-day experience of my entire life. Like the cultural, like authentic cultural kind of experience I had out in the mountains, feeling that true like Albanian hospitality is quite like nowhere else in the world. And then just being surrounded by the most beautiful mountains and such a amazing group of people. And just learning so much about the culture, the history, and the stories that you don't really hear about, especially the war. And it just kind of opened my eyes to a whole different worldview, and like open, because like Australia, we're so isolated. We know barely anything about the world. And then coming here, you're just kind of confronted with a whole different kind of image or just story. And my hiking guide Donat, he's the one that brought me here to Kosovo. He brought me to Paya and then to Pristina and to his sister's engagement party in Pristina. And that was a wild, crazy night.
So you're like fully into family life at that point.
Pretty much. I was just like trying to meet as many people as I could, just speak to as many people as I can, just kind of just learn through conversations. Back at home, my job was literally just talking to people. So that's how I find I just learn the most, just through conversations with people from all different backgrounds. And those conversations led me here and deciding to move here for 2 months and just seeing just living a whole another life. And seeing what I'd learned through just living here for 2 months, learning about the country, and also just kind of documenting it. Because no one's really creating content from like a foreigner's perspective about Kosovo, and a lot of my friends create content, so I just saw the value of having a personal brand when it comes to networking, meeting people, and opening yourself up to more opportunities. And through that, allowed me to meet my now business partner, Dion, and then also just provide just opportunities I could never imagine ever been coming my way. And it's just, and also just the receptiveness of the whole Albanian community to my content, because just coming here has just made me realize how it's like, in terms of the amount of suffering and the amount of pain and trauma these people have been through for over 500 years, and now kind of seeing them finally free and an independent country, it's quite a surreal, or like a miracle that has happened. And to be able to just like show that to people, I believe it's just like a lot of people can learn from it and learn through what hardship can actually build. And now just seeing how much suffering people have been and what they've been able to go on and produce because of channeling that energy into their work, and it's quite inspirational. And there's so many inspiring stories here that I just want to share and show the world.
You move here, you end up here for you're going to stay for 3 months, you end up staying way longer than that, starting a business, establishing yourself. What's it been like as somebody then, culturally to start to make a life here in Kosovo, and you're not from here, you don't speak the language, you're not you're not connected really except by your own connection now. That's it.
Well, there's been points where it's been tough, but for the most part, in terms of like just being a foreigner here, it's people are just so welcoming and so helpful, and they're just happy to just have you here. They're willing to just do a lot to just help you out, like especially the ICK and what they've been able to help us with our business, and helping us set up the right structure and helping us with legal stuff. It's been incredible. And that support has just came through us just genuinely wanting to be here and actually being so, I guess, we believe in Kosovo, and not too many, lots of people from the outside world just look down on Kosovo.
Right.
But we believe in the path it's heading on, and it is quite a bright future ahead for this country.
Yeah.
And people see that we want to be a part of it.
Right.
And so they're more than happy to help out in whatever problems do arise. So it's been great in that aspect.
Well, I mean, what you're doing and telling that story, that's the purpose behind what we're doing with the season of Scaling Cross Borders as well. And, it's a story, that story of Kosovo is such a unique one. The history is such a unique one. And that story of freedom emerging is such a unique one. I think it's an amazing thing what you're doing to get that story out there at a global audience. So, appreciate what you're doing there.
That's no worries. I love doing it. More people need to know. More people need to see the truth about Kosovo.
You talked about hiking.
Yeah.
I'm on a hike. I think we use the same guides, we're in the same company, and you're hiking, I'm hiking up a mountain, you're hiking down a mountain, and one of the people in our group said, "Hey, that guy's famous here." And, and then we got introduced, and but that's Kosovo, right? I mean,
exactly.
It's such a small place.
Everyone knows everyone.
That's right. That's right. It just took one little hiking trip to start it all off. So, Zach, it was awesome having you guys on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good. All right, so we're here in Newborn Brew, downtown Pristina. You two randomly end up here. You're from here.
Yeah.
But this is where you started. This is where you started the business, right?
Yep.
I think you told me on the way in,
those tables right over there.
This is ground zero right here.
That's right.
I think everything started from here. The meeting, my idea for that product started here. I made a team that believed on that idea.
Yep.
And Zach was able to see that. So he was really impressed by that. So I say, good day, mate. That's it.
That's where it all starts. So how do you go from that initial conversation to start showing up every day and saying, okay, we're actually gonna start to work on this project together, and we're gonna go
lots
build
of
it.
coffee.
I think this is the place for coffees, but
that's right.
So, as I was saying, Zach was loving it, and ideally, I was just asking him questions about the tech and how is Australia in this market, what can we do for them and stuff. So he just said, I think you have a good team, but I have a good friend that can help you out. So we sorted out that call with Ethan.
I came into that interaction. I don't come from a tech world or a tech background. I'd been working in sales and marketing for 2 years, and I saw their app they were developing, and I was like, Dion, I want to sell this in Australia. I'll set up at universities and sell this to get all the students on as users.
Yeah.
Like whatever you guys build, I'll sell in Australia or wherever. But I need to talk to Ethan and see what he kind of thinks of the tech landscape, what would be the best thing to sell. And then that's when I called Ethan, and a few weeks later he was here.
So you show up, you get a phone call, you show up here in a coffee shop in the middle of Pristina.
Yeah, dead middle of winter. It's probably been 3 years since I've seen snow. It's everything's covered in white. I got Christmas lights in the background.
This is beautiful.
Oh, dude, I fell in love.
Yeah.
It was obviously there's still a little bit of Yugoslavian architecture, which isn't super aesthetically pleasing, but the shesh
they were never really
in the middle of
for
Christmas in a warm, cozy cafe like this, it's instantly I'm like, dude, this place is magnificent.
Yeah. So you're an easy sell then.
Surprisingly, the funniest part about all of this for me is that it is so ridiculously out of character that I'm not even sure who I am anymore.
Sorry, I'm 53, man. I still don't know who I am. So you guys sit here. You're coming in here, and so you're actually building from this spot every day. How long did you guys work out here?
I think 8 months, 9 months.
Okay.
Oh no, it was December till around mid-April.
May. Start of May,
So
mid-April.
around 6 months actually.
Yeah. So not a short period of time.
No,
Yeah.
these guys were awesome to us.
Yeah.
So we are friends to them.
Yeah.
We opened the cafe with them and we closed it to them. We were the first customers and getting their first coffee and maybe leaving the last coffee.
Yeah.
They had a staff trip and the owner gave me and Zach the key so that we could work out of here while they were
The place is closed so that you guys could just still show up.
People just knocking on the door like, you guys open? Nah,
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous though, because we would, for example, we would go outside, grab something from down the street.
Yeah.
As soon as we come back, there's like 6 or 7 people all standing around looking at the empty cafe. Like, where is everyone? And we'd have to come in and be like, hey, sorry guys, like we're closed. We just forgot to lock the door. Don't tell the owner this. But yeah, like I feel like people really appreciate this coffee shop. As far as the community goes, the university students, it's one of the few places around here where, people are welcome to work on their laptops. You don't have to be buying a meal every 2 hours to kind of earn your seat. Like, it's really just about like having that community.
I came here like 2 years ago for the first time, 2 or 3 years ago, and it's been like the second home. I really can say it, because the community, the staff, everything is like, feels like a family right now.
The funny part here, right? So I wasn't familiar here, but we called this documentary "The New Country," right? And you walk down the street and there's newborn, the newborn sign and everything. But what is that? As you guys are building, I mean, the name has such resonance here, right?
I think, thought of this.
And that concept, right?
Write that down.
Yeah. We haven't thought of this.
But that concept of like, of rebuilding is so like that. To me, that's the power of, the place and the founders that are building it, and there's so many connections and so much resonance to that, to that name.
100%. I mean, it's such an underlying theme about Kosovo is that idea of like new Bodom, like new identity, like building something from the ground up, and it's remarkable to like one of the first places that Zach and I went to when we got here was the reporting house. So and to understand the transition from like the Yugoslavian era to the post-war period to like what me and Zach visited in end of 2024, it's remarkable. The progress that's been made, and Kosovo really is like a newborn country. And just like you're excited to see what a 2-year-old grows up into. Me and Zach and Dion as well are obviously really excited to see what Kosovo grows into as well.
And the businesses that are here, right? Just like your business, and I think, and that's the fun part of watching that startup landscape evolve here alongside the country's a startup. The startups are startups, right? Like everything here just screams startup, and to me that's you and I were talking outside, right? That sort of rebirth of freedom that you just don't see that you just don't see that in many places, right? Where an entire people, an entire nation comes out of nowhere, an entire community forms around that, and and all the companies within it. So it's a pretty remarkable story when you start to look at it from that lens.
And especially like in the context of starting something out of a coffee shop, like creating a business is incredibly hard, and it's like you've got to really want it, because if you don't want it, there will be some obstacle that comes your way which will just knock you completely off course. Being in a country like Kosovo where there's so much potential, and we're literally sitting in this coffee shop looking at all of the potential, looking at the people on their laptops day and night working digitally, remotely, and it's like all of a sudden it's not just about the business. It's not just about getting that first client or delivering that first product. It's about what can we do to make this country become what we see it able to become. And as far as founders go, that is probably one of the most advantageous things, because it gave us a better reason than just selling the business in 10 years time.
100%. All right, awesome guys.